rarely surprised by answers in my office, but I did ask you whether you subscribe to the views of Finance Minister Smotrich.
Who? I'm sorry,
Smotrich, this is the Israeli Finance Minister Smotrich, and the former National Security Minister Ben-Gvir, who believe that Israel has a biblical right to the entire West Bank. And in that conversation, you told me that, yes, you shared that view. Is that your view today?
Yes.
There's a lot of things wrong with her answer here, and there's a lot of things that we can discuss about the state of Israel and the self-determination for the Palestinian people, the history of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But I just want to hone in on this issue of the Bible, and that the Bible has promised, the land of Israel to the Jewish people. This is an issue because not only does it give the people, in Israel, the far right folks especially, in their mind, a belief that they can go and settle, the lands in the West Bank and in Gaza and elsewhere. But if you actually think about and you actually look at the Bible and see what it says about what lands are promised to the Israeli people, it's a lot more than what the state of Israel looks like today. They'll put on a map, pretty much give or take, the lands that the Bible actually says are promised to the Israeli people, to the Jewish people. And I don't know if people like Stefanik or others are aware of this, because many of these people, tend to use religion as a crutch. But it's really concerning. And when you think about, this idea that a book that we have no proof that any deity exists, that that even if a deity did exist, that those words, that were spoken by said deity went into this book, but that a book from thousands of years ago should determine whether or not people have basic human rights today is extremely problematic. And, when people are using any religious text to then justify the removal of rights, the attacking, the demonizing, the disparaging, etc., of another people, it's a serious issue. We have fought countless wars over religion and religious beliefs for many, many years as a race, as a people. And to be doing this in 2025, not only when it comes to, the Israel-Palestine issue, but also for LGBTQ rights and other, basic rights, it's crazy. It's crazy to me that this is where, you can be in the Senate at your confirmation hearing and saying, yes, I believe the Bible promised a piece of land to a certain people, and therefore these other humans that already live there, yeah, they don't belong. When we start mixing our religious beliefs, you're entitled to whatever you want to believe. When you start taking that belief and applying it to policies that affect real humans, that's a serious issue. And this becomes an issue when you talk about abortion, when you talk about, the Israel-Palestine conflict, when you talk about, pretty much anything that has to do with the LGBTQ community. And the justification from folks on the right comes only from their book. And when we look at a people, like ISIS, Al Qaeda, etc., that are justifying their actions, what many people would describe as terrorism, as violent extremism, as mass atrocities, etc., justifying those actions based on their book, then you see something like, Smotrich or Ben-Gvir, these other folks in Israel that are justifying their actions and the mass atrocities that were committed in Gaza and the atrocities that are being committed in the West Bank today because of their book. What is the difference there? This is a serious issue, and we need to be talking about this in a serious way. And the fact that it's just another day, another day for these folks to justify these kinds of actions based on a religious text that they believe is the word of God is wild. Absolutely wild and frankly dangerous.